Your sister can help us. Although just a handmaiden, she has Marjorie Tyrell's favor. And Lady Marjorie's betrothal to the king may be enough to keep the Boltons at bay. If it's presented to her as it should be.
Is this timeline really right? Marjorie Tyrell, she was betrothed to oh no, I forget his name. The Iron Born, no, Baratheon. Oh my god, I can't remember. This is so annoying. Well, the gay character in the television show, I guess the gay lord, the Baratheon, younger, the third son of the Baratheon. She was betrothed to him when the war was breaking out, but he died before the Red Wedding, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Okay, so the timeline is actually alright. But she's probably just arrived here. I shouldn't question it. They've done their research. Look at...
Asher sent me this coin to remember him. What a strange place, Essos. It was very kind of Lady Marjorie to give this to me. It once belonged to Lady Elena.
Oh.
Ethan made this for me.
Look at... that did nothing.
Father. Much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Marjorie has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you, and I look forward to the day you can.
Let's see, I need to think about this. Who was this girl again? Is she... I guess she's another sister of Ethan. That must be it.
Wonders Made by Man, by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick. I hope to see them all someday. King's Landing. I wonder if it's sunny at Ironrath today.
She doesn't look happy at all.
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can be a powerful ally, especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
Let's answer the door. Don't keep the guests waiting. Yeah, I'm coming.
One moment.
Oh, sorry, milady. I didn't mean to disturb you. I can come back later if you'd
Again,
like.
bad voice acting. Holy crap. That's an inn. Let's be kind.
No, it's fine. Come in.
Begging your pardon, milady, but you alright? If you don't mind my asking, you seem rather upset.
I'm worried.
I'm just worried about my family.
Ah, letter from home, is it?
It's kind of you to ask.
Of course, milady. You've always been kind to me.
Please hurry if you can. Lady Marjorie will be here any minute.
Of course, milady. You work for Lady Marjorie? I may be wrong, but it seems like you do.
I'm her handmaiden.
I'm her handmaiden.
That's what I thought. I've seen you with her before. You seem like good friends. I saw Lady Marjorie just this morning, outside the Royal Sept, talking to Queen Cersei.
Cersei?
They appeared to be having some sort of disagreement. I couldn't hear much, but it was definitely an argument.
What did they say?
I couldn't make out much, but I know they were talking about the Starks and House Forrester.
House Forrester?
I hope you're not in any kind of trouble. But I thought you ought to know.
It pays to be kind.
Most people don't tend to notice a call boy. Not in King's Landing, with so many lords and ladies about. You see and hear all sorts of things when people don't even know you're there. Good night, milady.
Thank you. I do want to know your name.
Lady Marjorie, you're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk. Come, there's something we must discuss.
Well, you can recognize her at least. Her face is a little bit
From the
too
day you
wide.
arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you
Still
more as a
good.
friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining. And your poor family as well.
You're very,
You're very kind, my lady.
Of course, Mira, but you must not despair. We will get through this together. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the Royal Sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She was very pleased with herself. Her face was full of mirth as she said it.
How did you respond?
How did you respond?
I told her you are one of my most trusted handmaidens, that you can hardly be blamed for the actions of your father and brother. Nonetheless, she demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort, for what I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
I'll do
I'll do as you
say.
ask, my lady.
I knew I could trust you. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear.
So this is kind of like when Sansa arrived in King's
See if the
Landing.
Queen Regent is ready to receive us.
Oh, this will be hard. We probably have to denounce our own house to keep her happy. But I can't do that. But at the same time,
You'll
I'll
be
need
fine. I know you will.
Margaret's.
You may feel one thing, but you must say another.
Oh, I don't know what's right here.
Good luck.
I need Margaret's help. And so I need to denounce my house in order to placate Cersei and help Margaret. But at the same time, if I do denounce my house,
You can
I'm
do
kind
this.
of fucked. Because they can hold that against me. Basically, if I side with my house...
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Oh, it's his voice!
Lord Tyrion. Your Grace? With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Bow your head.
I am honored, Your Grace.
Yet not honored enough to kneel, I see.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl.
Oh shit.
Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is. The girl can speak for her house.
House Forrester's loyalty to the crown never wavers, Your Grace.
I see. And yet... For centuries, the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
They're not traitors.
They are noble, not traitors, Your Grace.
Noble? Perhaps once. For a northern house. But now they're merely dead. Is your house willing to swear
Did not
fealty to
satisfy
your
her.
new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
He is the new warden. I don't know. How the fuck could
No
I
doubt
know?
she's speechless in your presence, Your Grace.
Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Forrester Ironwood does seem rather unique.
To our mutual benefits.
To our mutual benefit, Your Grace.
And at the pleasure of your king. It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yes. Anything. No, let's be quiet.
Or nothing, perhaps. It's hard to tell either way.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the wall? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
She only followed her heart.
She was just following her heart, Your Grace.
And the very same heart so quickly led her to my son.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
Let the
would...
girl answer the question. Go on.
I won't be conflicted.
My loyalties would never conflict, Your Grace.
That's a coward's answer. I will not have my time wasted by a northern girl who thinks she can play games. Who do you choose?
I am so fucking
I must
Cersei.
choose Marjorie, Your Grace.
Clearly your handmaiden does not have her priorities straight.
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
She's headstrong, isn't she? Not surprising, I suppose, for
Yeah.
a northern girl. But not very encouraging either. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
I'll walk you out. This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
Thank you, Lord Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
You were brave to declare your loyalty to Lady Marjorie. No doubt she was pleased, but Cersei, she will not soon forget what you said. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining. But it certainly wasn't what Cersei was expecting.
I did it for Lady Marjorie.
As you should. And of course she has your best interests at heart. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The Crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the Crown in this regard. Not her.
What are you suggesting?
I suppose the Crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous. In fact, forget I even suggested such a thing.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion.
Yeah.
Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival.
Hope we meet
The
again.
mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
I hope we meet again.
Nothing would make Cersei happier. Until then, be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
It's kind of fun. I am playing the part of the Northern girl, so I am honorable, and I don't want to lie, and I do want to stay loyal to my family. But at the same time, I'm trying to play the game, but I'm doing so rather poorly.
Mira,
It's really fun to play that role.
How was it? Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing. It's more than a little intimidating.
Not so
It
great.
didn't go very well.
I'm sorry. Cersei is known for being rather difficult. But at least it's over now. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime. I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his. Sarah? What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour, which I doubt is Dornish for wife.
Put it
Put
back.
it back.
We're just having a bit of fun. It's probably for the best. I've heard he's a bit perverse. Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands. Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like. Would you marry Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen? He does have a certain look about him, and he's always treated Lady Marjorie well,
Not
which is more than you can say for his mother.
No.
I'd
Crap.
be willing to marry, but not Joffrey.
Well, I would marry him.
Yeah.
Imagine the power you would have
There's
as
limits to
queen
how
of the
loyal
Seven
I can be.
Kingdoms. I might even allow you to be my handmaiden. Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match! Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing? Well?
Sarah?
I'm sorry, my lady.
I'm sorry, my lady.
As am I. We shouldn't have been messing about.
This is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was rather disappointed by your display, Mira. I'm just glad it's over. King's Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Do you agree?
Sarah's right. Sure. Let's
Once
make
you
her
are
happy.
queen, the lords and ladies will do their best to please you.
You learn very quickly. I know you must fear what Lord Bolton might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important.
Sure, ask for her help.
I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
I don't trust Sarah.
It's about my family.
I trust her.
I prefer to speak alone. Yeah, fuck Sarah. I don't trust her at all.
I prefer to speak with you alone.
I don't care if you're disappointed. You have no character.
Go on. Ask.
My mother needs your help.
Forgive me, my lady. I wouldn't otherwise ask this of you, but my mother insisted. It's about my family.
Ramsay Snow. What would you have me do?
My mother fears our family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. She thought, if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. I know it's a lot to ask of you, and I wouldn't otherwise, but she insisted.
That is no small request, especially now.
I know, my lady, and I wouldn't ask this of you otherwise. But my mother has left me no choice. She insisted.
Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks, and now you would have me ask him to intervene. Is the situation that dire? Joffrey will not look favorably on such a request.
It is that dire.
It is that dire, my lady. I fear for my family's safety.
I don't know, Mira. If Cersei were to find out...
You're adored by the king.
Don't let the Queen bully you. You have power over him, Lady Marjorie, as no one else does. Not even his mother. Ramsay Snow will arrive at Ironrath within the week. I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my lady. I will send a raven to my family at once. I'm
like a blind child stumbling through this game. I